welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about a nose contour. As a makeup artist, this is the one question that I get all the time. If I had a penny for every person that asked me, how do I contour my nose? I would be like a millionaire. I actually never knew how important a nose contour was until I was about 20 years old working as a makeup artist at a MAC store, and there was a drag queen who worked with me and he taught me how to contour, and I was mind blown. I was like, oh my God, I can literally change the shape of my face just with shadows. This is amazing. So now, many years later and many failed attempts at contours, I think that I've kind of mastered it. I have a few little tricks that work for my nose, and I've done it on a bunch of my clients and them too. So if you guys want to find out how to get my nose contour, keep watching. Okay, so this is my face with no contouring at all. When I was a little girl, by the way, I absolutely hated my nose. I feel like I really grew into it, and still to this day, I'm like, I just wish it was pinched a little bit more, but that's what makeup's for. So there's a few products that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a cream, and then I'm going to be using a powder on top. First thing that I'm going to start out with, when you're contouring your nose, if I'm spray tanned and I'm a little bit more orangey, which you know that I love, I use a little bit more of a warm brown, but right now my skin this is pretty much my natural skin tone, so I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup. This is the Baked. I like the little one because I can really just kind of draw on my face, because the big one is like a big fat stick, so this one is easier for me to draw lines. So the one thing that I always do, especially when I'm doing makeup on my clients, is I always start with their eyebrows. And the reason that I do that is because if they have eyebrows that are a little bit further apart, it actually makes the top of the nose look a little bit wider. I would start bringing your eyebrows in a little bit more, and that's going to help to slim out the top of the nose already without even having to start with your nose contour. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my Shade and Light palette. This is by Kat Von D. It's like a taupey kind of ashy color. I'm going to be using a fluffy brush, and I'm slowly just going to start to shade my nose. What this is going to do is going to help to set as a base, so I know where I want to apply the lines, where I want to highlight, where I want to contour. And you want almost no product on your brush. You want this to be a very light application. So I'm just tapping it in, tapping it off, and applying. Already. Step number one, easy enough. Let's get to step number two. I'm going to be using my cream. Now what I'm going to do is just go back and forth with this little brush. This brush actually comes with Anastasia palette. So I'm going to start down here first. I normally start up here, but I have a bump in my nose, so I always have to correct it. This is actually like the non-lazy way of me really getting like a bomb contour. And obviously I know my nose really well. It's on my face. I felt it a lot of times. You're really gonna learn a lot about your nose today. All right, and now I'm bringing it up, and I'm meeting it right underneath my eyebrow. Some people do it above their eyebrow. I just like to go in here just because of the way that my eye shape is. I have very deep set eyes, so I feel like this just kind of sculpts it out and pinches my nose a little bit more. Okay, and now for the bottom, I'm just gonna go right under here and connect this to the little ball at the end. And I'm making a little bit of a V. Okay, now it's time to shade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the brush. I have a little bit of a puffier side. I'm gonna dip into here, and I'm just gonna slowly start to bring this down a little bit. And there's honestly like nothing on this brush. It's just like a drop and tapped it off. Really what this is doing is adding shading. When I apply my lighter colors, everything's just gonna kind of blend all together. And I'm just pulling it down. I like to add a lot more in here. Ooh, I'm getting a tiny little nose. So now I'm gonna flip the brush again. I'm gonna dip back into here, and I'm gonna start on the underneath. And because my nose goes down, I want to lift it up a little bit. So I'm going to add extra under here to really kind of shade that and top it off. You can see why I did the cream and then the powder on top. The cream really just kind of sets it, and then the powder sticks to it, and then I can blend out. So I'm going to go back with the cream, and I'm going to go on the sides of my nose a little bit. What this does is it kind of helps to pinch my nostrils a little bit and just kind of lift everything up, so I have this really nice little pinch nose. Now I don't have any concealer on, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of concealer before I start to blend this all in. I'm just gonna do some concealer in here. I'm not going too far in. I'm gonna blend it out. And I'm just kind of meeting it right on the sides. Okay, all right, next step. Okay, so for the next step, I'm gonna be taking the lighter shadow in here with a beauty blender, tapping it on, and going right against that darker color. I'm just making straight lines. And then I'm just gonna do a drop on the tip and a drop here. I'm gonna let this set. I'm just gonna give myself a little cheek. Okay, this should almost be set. I'm just gonna add a little bit more under here, just because I feel like I want to lift it a little bit more. Now with the fluffy synthetic brush, we're gonna start blending that powder inwards. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna help to kind of soften the lines. Do you see how much of a difference that already made? So always brush up, because you want to take that lighter color and brush it over. You can take a little bit more as well. And then I just do a drop down the center. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Hoola bronzer and just add a little bit in here. The initial lines that I had made are already set, but this is just kind of softening everything and it doesn't look fake. Ooh, I feel so much better. All right, let's add some bronzer to my cheeks. And with the same palette, I'm just gonna take that lighter color. Another trick that I love to do is I'll just take my bronzer and just go underneath my eyes. Kind of just helps to finish the whole look off. Little contour on the lip, just because I need to show you guys the full finished look. I just like to give a little dusting at the end. Make sure everything is blended. Well, I'm all finished. I feel super snatched. I hope that you guys learned something, because every time that I do a nose contour, I learn something a little bit different about my nose. I'm gonna make sure to put everything in the comment section below, all the products that I use. And don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Or just drop a comment, say hi, let me know what you're doing, what you're up to, if you like this nose contour. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one.